Especially when every character acts like you're an idiot and they can't just realize that, like, hey, maybe you've got... We're back in the north now. Gonna talk to Jon Snow. I would just want something to be, like, interesting out of that whole scenario and just not be reportedly put into the, like, hey, you've promised this person, hey, you've promised this to this person.
There's enough out here trying to kill us without
I didn't see the outcome. What happened with
You're right.
that marriage?
I'm sorry.
She agreed. Because I promised her half the forest.
Frostfinger told me about you. Seems to think you might be trouble.
He doesn't know me.
He's seen 1,000 recruits pass through those gates. He knows you better than you think. He said you fought for the North with the Foresters. You were there at the Twins.
Yes.
I still don't understand. 3,000 men, and not one could save my brother. Why didn't anyone fight back? Why didn't they rally to their king?
We fought as best we could, but it wasn't enough. The phrase cut us open.
Those cowards couldn't face Rob like men, so they started.
I guess my issue with that whole bit is...
Give him an honorable death. Let him die fighting.
Your brother would have won the North's freedom.
Is that I just feel like it's kind of like floundering until eventually some big event is going to happen. It's not like... I just really feel like there's really any progress being made.
Now the Freys command River Run, and the Boltons are Wardens of the North.
I would say that's a common frustration mentioned with this game.
It's not right.
They murdered my family. I should have been there.
I keep thinking if I'd been there, I could have done something.
I can share a little bro moment with Jon Snow over our dead family.
Whatever I once thought, my place is here, with the Night's Watch. There are those here who will hate you for who you are. Southerners who will call you traitor, Northerners who will call you craven. Some won't even have a reason. They'll hate you anyway. You can't do anything about it. Trust me, I know.
I can't just ignore him.
No good will come of doing otherwise. Most of the men are criminals, forced to take the black. You were a squire for a noble house. What happened to you today happened to me more times than I can count. I learned there's nothing more important than having brothers you trust.
There seems to be like a lot of meaningless choice. Just do anything.
Yeah, again, common criticism of Telltale
I
games
felt the
in
same
general,
first time
and
I
one
saw
that I
it.
definitely sort of... I question whether it applies to this
I
one.
heard you want to be a ranger. Why? Why risk your life out there?
I want to protect House Forrester.
You'll protect them by doing your duty here.
Yeah, I don't really want to remember the North, or talk about the North Grove. I'm not really sure he's supposed to be in on this.
Just want to be rangers. They'd rather stay here where they think they'll be warm and safe. But Mance Raider marches on the wall with 100,000 wildlings. I've seen them for myself. The men here are murderers, thieves, rapers. You won't like most of them, and they won't like you. But they're your brothers now. Can you stand with them? Can you see
Yeah, in my
past your
playthrough I
differences?
tended to play that close to
I'll
the vest.
stand with them.
Glad to hear it. I'd say you'll get used to the cold, but you won't. Come on. Better get by a fire, or you'll end up like Frostfinger.
Yeah, it just like it's sort of a weird amalgamation between like a visual novel and an actual game, where like in a visual novel, you just kind of spacebar through the whole thing, and like they RP out the or they write out the conversations for you. And in this, you're sort of like pretending that like that's what you'll say, but I don't really. It doesn't really have any impact on your character. It doesn't really mean anything. It's sort of, I don't know. I guess a question of like why they thought that was a good design choice. It's something I kind of wish that like I'd be able to figure out, listen to more. Is sort of game developers decide to make games. Kind of stuff. And I feel like, you know, there's a lot of like lack of like, you know, into how the is that who I'm avoiding or is that who I'm talking to? Because it looks like the door guard. I can't say it.
Where do you think you're going?
Whoops.
At this time of night?
I was just headed back to my room.
It's a little late to be out, isn't it? Do you know what this uniform means?
It means you serve the Lannisters.
So, you best get yourself back to your chambers.
Game over.
Now, if you don't like it, you can take it up with the commander.
Is there no way I can change your mind?
Did you not hear me?
At ease, Lucan. The lady is with me.
Yes, sir.
Just blatantly making me look like I'm lying, but okay. That guy's gonna go tell Cersei I'm gonna be in trouble.
I hope it wasn't bothering you, my lady. I'm Damien.
Thank you, Damien.
It was my pleasure. You got my note.
That was you.
I'm very glad you could make it.
If I recall the handwriting, he's got pretty bad handwriting
Talked to you
for
quite some time.
whatever he is.
Why all the secrecy? If you wanted to talk to
Meaningless
me, you
guard
could have
number one.
asked.
It never seemed the right time. I am sorry about this, Mira, but you've made enemies of the wrong people. A handmaiden should know her place.
What? What are you talking about?
I'll make this quick if that helps. I'd hate to see you suffer.
Oh, shit. Well, not escaping from that one.
You've trusted the wrong man.
I was trying to escape there. Didn't realize that I had to hit S to go forward. It was a little awkward.
Let her go!
Save me, Cole boy, save me. Is Cole boy dead? Oh good, no he's not.
You?
I gotta repay him in kind. He saved my life, I'll save his.
What was that?
He said I'd angered the wrong people.
Ixidor's stone cold
Someone sent
handmaiden.
him?
What are you doing here?
Also, I'll just give you a
I'm
little
yelling.
bit of a preview. For some reason, this turns into like King's Landing CSI.
You did what you had to do, Lady Mira. You had no choice.
I want to see Horatio Kane in this game, like, with his sunglasses.
I know a few places in Fleetwood. No one will ever find him.
Good luck, and be careful.
Thanks.
You know, there's actually, like, there's many sentences in this chapter were remembered.
Damien, where are you?
I don't know. I don't want to keep the knife on. They're not going to fingerprint it.
Roderick! It's you. Isn't it? Roderick. They said you were gone. Ramsay Snow did this. He did that to Ethan. You're going to hurt him, aren't you? Lord Whitehill said you won't, because you're a coward. But I know you will. He deserves it.
What else has Lord Whitehill been telling you, Ryan?
That's enough.
Your little chat is over.
I will speak with my brother.
I said you're done. Keep your distance or I'll drag him back to High Point right now.
What? I have to go back. No, I want to come home.
Roderick, you should speak to Mother.
Roderick?
So, my hope here...
Are you?
We are your family, Ryan. Don't forget that.
My hope is that I can convince Whitehall that I'm a coward and then end up killing him or something. I don't know. At least the last, based off my abilities in the last chapter, that's gonna blow up in my face horribly, but...
What harm could it do?
Make it a quick one.
Mother, come join the others.
He's right there. My son. But soon they'll take him from me just like before. It's happening all over again. I can see it. My father's house was once mighty like this one, but his loyalty to the Targaryens cost us dearly.
That was sort of what I was hoping for too, that I could like
Saw
play
our
the
land
political game and
destroyed.
kind of lay
Everything
low
we
enough
clung
until I
to
was in a
was
strong
ripped from our
position.
hands.
I guess I'll leave you to your own
I
conclusion
can't
as to whether
watch
that
same
plays
fate
out or
before
is
this
possible.
family. Our house. My children.
Our family is strong, Mother. We will not fall.
Many men.
Kind of interesting that the Foresters used to be Targaryen loyalists. I don't think that was very common in the North, especially because I think the North was about to fight, if I recall correctly, up until the king at the time bent the knee.
Let nothing stand in your way, do you understand? If you have to murder every last Whitehill down to the babes in their beds, no matter what, you must do it. Promise me.
You'll go mad thinking like that.
I have seen what men must do to win a war. You must be ready. Promise me.
We will be ready, Mother. Mira.
I think there's a medium between being ready for war, being like genocidally crazy.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I suppose we have to be.
Although apparently I really need to start killing more people in this game and not picking the other option just to see what happens.
Say a few words, my lord.
Yeah, it was interesting enough that I thought about doing a second playthrough, although then I started reading things that seemed to indicate that stuff didn't change, though I believe it's one of those things you have to do it yourself to actually see how much changes.
Everything I ever wanted to be. He showed me what it is to be a lord. He was so brave. I never knew a better man. And I am sorry. I love you, Father. Ethan, my little brother. You served this family well, though I was not there to see.
He would have been proud. We honor Lord Gregor Forrester, my husband.
I will say, given the like kind of like other characters named Gregor, it's a little odd that they chose it for him, but
Little boy.
couldn't have come up with like another name that was sort of less tinted with the mountain.
But now is time to say goodbye. Father and son are returned to the earth.
It could just be a common name.
And from there,
I suppose.
new life begins.
Iron from ice.
Iron from
ice.
The blue fire is interesting.
Yeah, I believe they've shown it earlier.
I guess that's the fun aspect of Ironwood.
It is magic wood.
Is it disrespectful to light the son before the father? Oh, she's gonna sing her song here. I've always kind of been sort of iffy on songs and games. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You have to be able to ensure that it's going to reach the audience. I'm just like, I don't know. For me, but I get what they're going for.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. You and I have previously had discussions about that.
Like Dragon Age Inquisition, you have the whole bit where like they're going to become the whatever it was called. I can't remember. Well, I guess the Inquisition. They're right after when they're going to go move to the keep. They sing that song, and like I got what they were going for. It doesn't move me like they wanted me to. I think
that is because you are stone cold.
I'm like ice from ice. Oh, even the tough guy's crying. Or, I guess, sort of crying. There's a lot of, like, closed eyeballs, no real tears. It's at the end of the chapter. Next time on Game of Thrones.
What is going on?
Roderick, you have to do something. Lord Whitehill's son has arrived.
Griff Whitehill means to torment us. Nothing worse than a fourthborn with something to prove.
It was bad enough when it was just the soldiers.
We can't live with them under our roof.
Form up and follow my lead. You'll be taking your vows. You too, Tuttle. Time to start proving you're a brother.
Oh, the things we do for family. I wonder sometimes if it's worth it, all the sacrifices. Enjoy the wedding.
How much further to Marine?
A few days.
If the Lost Legion doesn't catch up to us first.
No. I overheard a couple of men whispering about the Lannister guy.
Well, Ixodor, now that I see that you've gone to the next time, what are your thoughts of this chapter? We've kind of discussed it, but just generally.
Big scary beast. It was alright. I mean, like I said, I'm waiting for something, like, the bit in the north is kind of annoying. It's just sort of like, I don't like being put in the position of, like, a character who just, like, doesn't really have much to do of anything. Or, like, what I can do seems to be really minor. And, I don't know. I mean, you're just sort of waiting around for the inevitable civil war. Some key couple of choices or a key choice where the whole thing goes to a tipping point, and that's really not that fun. Um, I like Asher. Wish there's maybe a little bit more, or like his bits were a bit more interesting, which is sort of the Legion. Find the all that compelling. Like I feel like it would have been. I mean, otherwise, it would have just been like them walking around drinking, and then eventually their uncle bursts in asking them to start an army. But I don't know. It was all right. Like I said, I'm kind of eager for something interesting to happen. It seems like there's sort of like a lot of like waiting around for something interesting to happen. Interesting the choices compared to other people. I'm apparently in the minority of people who managed to end up being betrothed to Glenmore. I guess people didn't want to give away the wood. It seems seems like at this point you can just kind of give away as much wood as you want and nobody really cares.
Yeah, I did not successfully get betrothed to her, so I'm curious to see where that goes. That's kind of a big deviation from my perspective.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, I'm expecting that at some point they're gonna have me like I'm gonna have to offer up the wood again, and it's gonna be like her portion of the wood that I pledged to them to get something else. So I don't know. Only 10% killed Mira's attacker. Interesting, or 10% didn't rather. It's interesting that 96% of the people stood up for Cotter. I didn't really interpret it as standing up for Cotter more as just sort of like trying to get that guy out of my way. Or to stop punching him, I don't know, it was kind of awkward. I could definitely see a lot of players not wanting to kiss Whitehill's ring. But like I said, I really want to like, my hope is that you can convince him that you're weak and then, secretly bide your time and eventually become strong, but we'll see if the game plays out like I wanted to. I was kind of trying to play up that before with the first chapter, and it didn't work out, so I'm hoping I won't have the same ending. We'll skip past that. But overall, it was okay. It doesn't, I'm still looking forward to the game or whatever, see what happens, but I don't know.
Yeah, this one I think primed me more than anything else for a time when like I could get revenge or whatever. I liked the idea that Roderick was kind of like building up this secret little deal behind the scenes, and I was hoping to be able to use that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'll have to, it's kind of one of those things where we can't really talk about the whole game and whether or not we think there's going to be differences until you've played it all. But I will be curious to see how your game might differ at least slightly from it. Right now, I'd say we've made principally the same choices. The big differences being I made the other guy the Sentinel, and I did not get betrothed to Elena.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking for is maybe something that is sort of a big impact, but maybe earlier than they intended. I mean, these chapters have been vaguely 2-ish hours long, and so like we're 4 hours in, and there's maybe like I can't really think of all that many choices that have really I felt like played out, or we've seen the Marjorie choice is definitely one of them. I feel like the friend one with Sarah Flowers might have sort of played out, but I don't know. I think the part of the problem is that like the choices you don't make are hidden from you, if that makes sense. Like you don't ever see the benefit or any hint of what changed if you don't do something. And I mean, I guess you could definitely say, oh, you should just play another game of that, but at the same time, it would be sort of interesting if like there was something to let you know, like what sort of impact you might have made. I don't know. Maybe that would ruin the fun of a replay, but overall, I think it's all right. You know, I'm not hating it. I'm not gonna be over the head over heels with it, but you know, we'll see. Maybe the next time we play, if things start getting a turn for the more serious.
Yeah, definitely. I think the third chapter definitely does. It's either the third or the fourth. Definitely does have some interesting elements to it. So I'll be anxious to see what goes on there. Oh, glitched right through Garrett's chest. So that's pretty neat.
Alrighty, so I think that's gonna wrap up this chapter. We will be back next week with a whole new chapter, I believe.
Right, and for those of you that haven't deduced it yet, typically we record these chapters all at once and then we'll split them into 4 videos, so we apologize for any lack of an intro or outro to the other videos, but it's just kind of a nature of the beast for us while we're learning this. But thank you for watching, and please like or subscribe if you enjoyed this. Or I guess, you know, dislike if you didn't, and angrily comment if you didn't.
Feel free to rage if you need to. Alright.
But thanks for watching.